Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to review the Netflix new show called Later Daters. So I don't know if you guys had time to watch it, but tonight I'm going to give you my exact review about it, what I like, what I don't like the good, the bad, and I don't think this should have made it on TV. So if you have Netflix, as everyone does have Netflix, if you don't, um, get it. But I'll give you an overview about it. If you want to watch it, you can. If you don't want to watch it, that's also your decision too, and not watch it. So um, I'm gonna go over the cast, the dates, the annoyances, the good, just my own personal feedback about how people are dating. So Later Daters is set to be about people over 50 that are dating. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I chose the wrong Facebook to go live. Yeah, so I think this is a dating show for anyone who's above 50 years old. Uh I don't think I saw anyone under 50 though. So 50 plus. So it was different than the other Netflix dating shows like Love is Blind. In the different countries they have it, Too Hot to Handle, or even Love is Blind Games or Temptation Island. I'm not sure of all the show names. All I know is Netflix has a lot of dating shows, and this is one for the older crowd. So it was definitely a surprise. If you guys can hear me, please comment and let me know if you guys can hear me. What is this? What is it? What is this? I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and go over the cast, and then we'll go over the show a little bit. So it's 50 plus, like I said before. I'll go ahead and show you the people. Okay. So this is the main cast. As you can see, uh, okay, I think that's a better shot because you guys can see me more. All right, so we have Lori here. Lori is the life of the party. Lori is outside. Lori likes to be outside. This show is based in Atlanta, Georgia, or just Metro Atlanta, period, because some of them did live about an hour away from Atlanta. So let's just call it Metro Atlanta. I think some of these people were like in Marietta or like Jonesboro or something, like just far, but like so it's not like fully in Atlanta where we are. Okay. But Lori over here on the far top left with the pink outfit. I don't know if you guys can see. There you go. This lady right here, she is somewhat of a correspondent or press person for a magazine in Atlanta. So she'd be outside, she'd be on the red carpet, she'd just be interviewing people, she'd just be out. You know what I'm saying? She left the party. So she has two kids, one son and one daughter. Um, and she's looking to, get more serious and see like, who's worth her time to date for the rest of her life. So these people are looking to date basically to find a third life partner because some of these people were like married twice. I've seen some women married three times. I think Lori was only married once though. I think if I remember correctly. Then we have Nate. Nate um, Nate Nate is a army vet. I'm sorry, not she. Yeah, he works at federal government as security something. He was so cryptic about his job. I almost thought he ain't got no job. The way he talks like it's his night agent or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, Are you a night agent? Like, what's going on? Like, he's just so cryptic about like what he does. Like, okay, okay, Nate. Okay. Nate has one daughter. Nate is mm, we'll come back to Nate. We got Suzanne. Suzanne is definitely the description of what we call a rich white woman. She gives a vibe that she's a rich white woman. Like, of course, she was rich because she says she was an optometrist. She had her own um, practice for years, and her husband worked in, I want to say, engineering. I'm not 100% sure, but it felt like the Lockheed Martin for over there in Georgia. So he was there for a long time until he died. I think they had about 30 years together. Beautiful love story. They got married young, so now she's looking to date again. Two kids, boy and a girl. She's 62. She's 62. Let's see, how old is Nate, Lord? Nate, my Lord. Let's see, how old was Nate? Sorry, Susan was 63. Nate is 56. That's Nate. Lori is 57. All right. And then we have Anise. Anise is the finest thing walking. Okay. Anise was the fine black woman on the show. We had the rich black woman on the show, and we had the rich white woman, and we had the fine black woman. This lady was so fine. She came on the screen. I said, yes, auntie. Yes, auntie. Show them how you do it, sis. And Anise is 62, baby. You see that? You see her? Anise is 62. She was rocking it, okay? Anise was fine as hell. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Anise was 62. And then we have Greg. Oh, sorry. Anise. What does Anise does? Lord, what does she do? I think she's retired. I'm not 100% sure what she does for a living. I don't think did she even said it what she does for a living? I don't remember. I don't think she ever brought it up. Did I leave my door open or something? Why not flies? What's going on? My goodness. I don't remember what Anise does for a living, but oh, she was very big on going over like her having a doctorate, which I loved. So she's highly educated. I just don't remember what industry she was in. I'm so sorry. And then we have Greg. Greg with the um, white Senna look. You know, very much. It's a gorgeous white man right there. You know. Let me see. How old is Greg? Lord. I want to say Greg is 64, but let me double check so I'm not wrong. Okay. How old is Greg, my Lord? How old is Greg? I'm gonna tell y'all how old is Greg. All these okay, Greg's teeth, praise the Lord. And Greg has two sons. One, I think he was in college, and the other one has cerebral palsy, so he is, wheelchair ridden. He was married before. He's been single 12 years. Let me see. Greg was Greg was Greg. Then we have Pam. I love me some Pam. Pam gives me like homegirl vibes. She'll drink with you. She just telling her whole life story, even though y'all just met 2 minutes ago. Like Pam is a vibe. Like Pam is a vibe. Like I love Pam. I You know what? Now Trey, why would you say that? Niece was great, absolutely wonderful until she started thinking where her coochie cat. You know what? We're gonna get to her coochie cat. We're gonna get to her coochie cat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get her coochie cat. But yeah, Pam just loved to talk. Pam was a lifelong flight attendant. She married three times. Three times. Um, two of her husbands were singers, so she dealt with a lot of like a lot of traveling, road running, with her past husband. So she has a lot of like knickknacks about her ex-husbands in her house. Pam is 70 years old. Okay, Pam is 70 years old. She's fabulous. I like me some Pam. Pam likes to talk, and I like to hear why people talk. That's just me. I'm so sorry. I just love listening to white women talk. I love being around them. It's so much fun. Um, she has a very very big bubbly personality. She was married twice. No, sorry, I take that back. She was married twice, not three times. All right, so let's go over each person. Let's start off with Suzanne. Suzanne, the rich white woman, and I say the rich white woman, like I said before, she owned her own optometry um, uh, clinic, not clinic, practice. She has a big thing for University of Georgia football, um, which is rivalry to Alabama for some reason. She's very big a football person. Her house looks amazing. Her house looks amazing. Like I think she lived by the lake. I love me a really nice lake house. Like that is so beautiful. Oh my god. Ugh, yeah. Like adopt. Can you adopt me, ma'am? Like her house is so beautiful. Suzanne is fabulous. She wakes up looking fabulous. She wakes up doing her hair, her makeup. She put on these cute little pink shoes, and she just loves to accessorize. You know something? If I was a rich woman, I would just wake up and just dilly dallying. Like she said, she got bored of being retired and then went back to work because she bored. Baby, what? I want to be that rich where I'm so bored that I just go to work just for fun. That's what she is. So I think she was the person that took this more seriously than the other people. I think she was really genuine about looking for a particular husband. Well, not just husband, but just someone to be with, someone to really like enjoy her life with and things like that. So I remember her first her first date. I think I have a picture of her first date. Um like her house gives me like modern farmhouse, like with a lot of windows. I think she had like those mosaic rock looking floors. Oh, her house was just fabulous. Like I'm sorry for fangirling, but like Suzanne house was just giving. Um she was very meticulous. She was not rushing into anything. She was someone who knows she won't settle for guys with younger kids because she doesn't want someone with younger, like too much young kids. Um, but like she's cool on the romanticism and just going on dates and getting the flowers, being swoon, um in her date with the coach scientist, the dating scientist, that's what she likes to call herself. Her name is Logan. Logan was someone who spent years at Google, I believe. So she's highly into, figuring out like how people work. I think she was big on sociology, learning about how, dating and how matchmaking. She doesn't call herself a matchmaker, but she looks like the science of how people behave and how they come together and really pair up. I think she also have a book out about like how not to die alone, something like that. I think that's what the book is called. But Logan was really trying to make her like start talking again, because if you've been out the game for so long, you realize you got to start from zero, and zero can mean like just asking people like how was your day, just having small talk. You don't realize how hard small talk is in dating until you haven't done it in a while and you have to like start flirting again and start asking like dumb questions that you don't really care to ask, but we just got to ask it. It's just getting back into that motor skill of asking stupid questions just to get like the just to get out the way. So she didn't know how to start the conversation. So Logan had to tell her, I need you to go over something like really small. Like I listened to a podcast episode on my way here. Knowing she lying as hell. Logan asked her like, who's your crush, whatever, and she started talking about Matthew McConaughey. Now, not for nothing. Matthew McConaughey is a fine white man. That's a fine white man. I knew that man was fine since The Wedding Planner. That's a fine white man in that movie. But actually, he stayed fine. I think he's in his 60s now too. So he's a still good looking white man. Anyway, so back to Suzanne. So with Logan helping her, with conversational skills when it comes to having that first date, she still messed up the bit about, hey, I was on my way here. I was listening to this podcast and it was speaking about this and this topic. How do you feel about it? Girl, she went up to that man and said, actually, I can play it. I may not be able to show it to you on the screen, but I can play it for you. That's the beauty of this. I can play it. All right, let's look for the date. And I'm All right, hold on. Okay, so Suzanne, let's talk about Suzanne. Hopefully smart. I think they take one look at her hair and assume that she's a good time. So the hair is giving. I like big hair. Cannot lie. What kind of man do you think I should look for? Definitely the pot belly's a no-go. Teeth are important. I love big lips. Nice arms are important. I like a physically fit man. Nice feet. I also like someone who values hygiene. Of course, I love the silver fox. Someone who's charismatic, laughs a lot, jokester, confident, loves a good glass of wine. Not for nothing. This is a pretty good list. Okay. This is a very good list. She says she likes someone with good eye hygiene. I will tell you this. I I've had older men trying to chase me before, and baby, they be stank. They be stank. I don't know what to tell y'all, but older man stank. I don't know what it is. It's this weird smell. It's this weird old smell, and it's like masked into did they shower today, or like how long you been outside without showering, and like do you have deodorant on, and also like did you brush your teeth, and are those your actual teeth, are those dentures, or are these partial dentures, or do you have like crowns in, do you have like you know what I'm saying, like you got to ask questions for these older men. So hygiene, yes ma'am. Good teeth, that's what she said. She said she needs to be fit. For someone who is 62, like Suzanne was, Suzanne gives me, she's about like a size 4. I think that's a great shape for a woman in her 60s. Some women are not. And it's great to see, women of her age group being in shape. And that's amazing to see, honestly. Um, so I can see how she wants someone who's also fit because she doesn't want to deal with someone with fat. Weirdly enough, she chose a pot belly. Well, to me, he looked like a pot belly, but to her, he looks okay. I think with the height. See, the problem is like you could be. Think I have a laptop. You could be tall with a particular frame, so it makes it seem like you ain't got no belly. But that man had a belly. That man sure enough had a belly. Okay, that man sure enough had a belly, and she still went with it because out of the 3 options she went with, I think he was the best for what I understood about her options of what she likes to see. So her list wasn't too bad, and of course, a good glass of wine. Yes, we need someone who's cultured.
Time since I've dated. What was it like back in the day when you were dating? There were no cell phones, and so it just took a lot of effort. Ready. Yeah. I'm definitely ready. We're ready for you to have some. No, you. We're excited. Lily, are you sad Mom's going to get a boyfriend? You'll always be my boyfriend. Yes, you will.
All right, and let's see. Her first date was with.
And then he showed me roses. He's wow. Gosh. Suzanne. Right.
Suzanne and Frank. That was her first date. I don't know if you guys can see that, but Suzanne and Frank, that was their first date. I liked them together. Frank was definitely nervous.
Wow. Thank you. Sounds sweet. Thank you. That's perfect. All right. So immediately, he's very handsome, a little short.
She said this man was short. They're the same height. Okay, they're the same height. Anytime you see a woman says he's short, that's because they're the same height. Most women don't want men the same height as them. You got to be taller. Even if it's like 2 inches taller, just be taller. Period.
I feel so I can change that. And then he showed me roses, and that was a shoe in. Oh my goodness! Wow. So, so.
All right.
So
we can tell Frank was nervous. So, from my understanding of this show, it's a full group of I can't even say elders because they're not 60. Anyway, older generation, they all send in their videos talking about who they are, pitching themselves for the show, right? So I think they're choosing from that entire slate of people who submitted their videos. So he's probably also in that same mindset of like I'm also trying to date new someone. I'm trying to get into it. So he is also as nervous as she is. So he started like just saying anything out of his mouth.
When did you leave? You've been engaged for a long time. You're not here now, right? No. Yes, I am here. Absolutely. So before we start on that, I have to tell you, I have been listening to a podcast today. Matthew McConaughey. You know Matthew McConaughey. Of course, sure. And so anyway, it's about life. And there's a lot of symbolism with it being a road and coming into red lights, green lights, yellow lights. And so.
What is that? Red lights, green lights, yellow. ma'am, that is not what Logan told you to say. It's so funny listening to people go on dates. Mind you, this lady been single for 5 years. No, has it been 5 years? No, 12 years. She's been single for a long time. So she really ain't been outside like that. And and most times we can tell if someone like really rusty. And boy, that sounded real rusty. That sounded real rusty. Real rusty. All right. So Frank was okay to her. Frank had good energy about him. Frank was nice, but Frank didn't have personality. Frank was just like, you ask me a question, I'll just answer it. And sometimes when that happens, it falls on one ear, not the other. The problem with Frank as well, too, like he was just like so set on just looking at her body because she came up there body yada 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 yada. You know what I'm saying? Like she came with a halter dress on. She had like this big ass necklace on that she bought from overseas because it's giving rich white woman. Um, her hair was fabulous. Oh, her hair is beautiful. Um, but if I don't know if she had her breast done, but they were sitting. You know what I'm saying? So Frank was just like losing his mind, just staring at them. So it wasn't much there. So she let that one
That
go.
was very, very interesting. Matthew McConaughey, he's quite the man. Yes, yes. Got his hands in a million things. Yeah, for sure. Ooh. Yeah. Cheers to us. Cheers to us. First date.
And then we have these awkward silences where it's like, dang, what should I talk about now? Like, like you just can't stand having dead silences because it's really like whoever speaks next has to be funny because we had to break this weird ice of us not having anything in common. So I think that was a key with Frank that really lost the spark for her. And then we have the following day, which was with Avery. I think that was in Avery was in the second episode. Let's take a look. Let's see. I really like Avery for her. Okay, so Suzanne was cool. I'm glad she kept dating Alabama dude, Roll Tide. Yeah, Suzanne had a good head on her shoulders, honestly. I think Suzanne what was one I really liked during the show. Let's take a look at the okay. Second date. Avery is divorced, 10 years single. He has 3 kids, and he's a financial advisor.
It's the Avery. Yeah. Can you believe it? How are you? I'm good. Nice to meet you. Have a seat, sweetheart. Next week's my birthday, and my present came early. Oh my goodness! It's a great dress. Well,
Suave, suave.
so, how are you doing? I'm good. I'm thirsty. Let's get something to drink. He's very handsome, but where are my damn roses? That's what I want to know. All right, tell me about you.
I know that's right, Suzanne. Where are your roses? Man needs to never forget the roses. You must bring roses on the date. Bring the roses on the date. That's what you need to do. Bring the roses on the date. Where are my roses? Okay? She wants her roses.
Travel. So every chance I get, I'm going somewhere. Yeah. I exercise, I run, I'm on an elliptical. You don't have
So one thing I do love about how Suzanne kept saying like she runs, she's on the elliptical. I will tell you this, on my beginning journey of losing weight, being on the elliptical is the best thing you could do because it works out your whole body. Like it makes you move your back, it makes you move your hips, of course, and you also using your legs to pedal. So you're using everything because you holding the handlebars, so everything's being moved. It's kind of like the same thing for doing the full body squat. Anyway, just use the elliptical. Not for nothing, Avery was a handsome man.
Stuff in your knee? I don't feel nothing like that. I'm blessed. I can tell you none of the scars. Like all of our friends at our age now have scars. No. Oh my God. I never want to go through that. I just feel sorry for my man. So what do you do? I'm a financial advisor. So you majored in finance, obviously. That's what I majored in. Take a wild guess. Something totally different. English. How the hell did you end up in finance? You tell me.
It's called knowing the right people. That's what that means in white people talk. I know a friend who knows a friend who got me this job, and then years later, I'm now a millionaire in it. That's what that means.
He was a little mysterious, which is always charming to me, anyway. Frank was hard on his sleeve. He was very forthcoming with everything in his life, his past. Avery was a little different. Took him a little bit to kind of open up. Yeah, English is not my thing at all. My older brother was a biochem major. So what does he do? He's a neurosurgeon at Emory. What's his name?
Neurosurgeon at Emory. You know what I love? I love when people like this talk about their family members, how much educated they are, and how much pride they have, and speaking about such family members that have made a path for themselves. I love seeing that.
Well, he goes by Rusty Rhodes. I know him. I've met him. No, what? My husband worked for Medtronic. Oh, this is a small world.
Medtronic, that's what it was. I knew her husband had. Let me see. What is Medtronic? What's Medtronic? Health tech for the digital age. Interesting. Diabetes. See, I knew they had money. Medtronic, they make diabetic technology. So and I knew that sounded familiar. But yeah, that's what her husband did for years, and he ended up dying.
It always is. That's why you keep your nose clean. I have Medtronic screws in my back right now. Oh, gosh. But you know what? They make the best screws. They put a lot of dinners on my table.
I'm screaming. That's code for I'm rich. All right, so they had a really good day. The conversation flowed so well, and I love the fact that like she just let it flow. She didn't have any like awkward pauses with him on the day, and it was just like easy going, which I love to see because a lot of times like we get in our own way of finding good people, and most times you just don't know, like you just have to keep rolling and make sure that like you find someone that really connect with you where you can just talk about anything and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. So it's great to see people go on a date, it's not too superficial, but it's also someone that you feel comfortable talking about anything with because that person has emotional intelligence for you to have good conversation back and forth. So I like the fact that she had a good date with Avery, and I love to see people just enjoy each other's company. So, Suzanne was definitely someone that I enjoyed watching on the show. She was fun. She was bubbly. She loves joking around. She wasn't as stiff as some of the other women. So next up, let's talk about Pam. Okay, let's talk about Pam. Let's bring up Pam. Let me see. What was her introduction to us? I think she was in episode 3 for Pam. No, it was episode 2. Let's talk about Pam. All right. Let's bring up Pam.
You were absolutely. Guess what? Are you gonna behave? Did you behave for me? Will you?
Okay, so if I remember correctly, Logan was driving up the backwoods for Pam. I think Pam lives like super on the outskirts of Atlanta. Because she has like a one way in her house. So she rich white woman, but she's like comfortable. Like she doesn't have the same aesthetic as Suzanne, but she's very well off. I know for sure she's very well off. Like her house is ducked off, lots of land, and like she's living. She's comfortable. Um, Pam, let's go over Pam.
You're so funny. You must be Logan. Hi, hi, how are you? Straight out of the movies. Okay, I'm wearing wildly inappropriate heels. Gosh, you're so dressed up. Did you mean to be? How long have you been here? I've been here probably since 1986, but that's because I was gone like 21 days a month. Okay. A lot.
1986. That's older than what I am. Her first husband was so loaded that she's been in the same house from her first husband. This could mean two things. Like she got remarried and the new husband moved in because she got married twice. 1986 is a very long time. Very long time. So she's been comfortable a very long time. So to have someone like this still live in the same place from 1986 and at the same time after her first husband died and her second husband came, she was a flight attendant. I think she's just working because she likes the job. I don't think she really needed the job, honestly.
What were you doing 21 days? Oh, I was a flight attendant. Okay, I'm excited to hear all about it. I'll let you get some of it. Okay. Otherwise, you might have me committed. Wow, your house is amazing. Yeah, I pick up things from all over the world. Yeah. This is probably the only thing I've got left of England. You have your Shakespeare, your Allison. Yeah, I like Shakespeare because I can't figure it out. I've read them all, and they mean something, and you know. Wow, Pam's house was very interesting. Oh, I do go. I soaked in the tub here. This was a condemned greenhouse. I'm really into Buddhism. I'm into elephants. That's my next project. Do you want some shoes, like tennis shoes? No, I'm good. This I love because Linda signed it. Oh, yeah. Tell me about the Beatles. Well, I knew John more, but and Paul I actually flew, but my husband. That was my first husband, and that was one of his gold albums.
So I want to replay this. She said that was my ex-husband gold album. Okay. Steve Marriott Certified Gold RAA Sales Award. It's to commemorate the sale of more than 100,000 copies of the A&M Records long-playing record album Performance Rockin' the Fillmore. Humble Pie Performance Rockin' the Fillmore. Who the hell is Steve Marriott? Let's look up her husband because I'm curious now. While watching the show, I wasn't like really paying attention. But let's take a look. Steve Marriott. That's crazy. He died in 1991. Oh, He bought her a house and died 5 years later. That is so sad. That's so sad. Stephen Peter Marriott, he was an English actor. Oh, that's why she has stuff from England in her house. Okay, cool. Um, English actor, musician, guitarist, singer, songwriter. That's wonderful. So, I like to assume his music was in the 70s and 80s. Okay. Yeah, 76. 76 was his first album. Second album was 84, 85. Okay. That's so sad. Anyway, so um her husband was a rock star basically. So I can see why she's very well off, okay, for years. So her working, probably a choice, honestly.
Wow. And this was my second husband, not too long before he died. What's his name? He was Will. Everybody called him Bubba. My second husband, we had the best time. I was with Will for 21 years. He died 15 years ago. But they gave him 6 months.
You know, I've realized um, during this show, the white women get remarried and the black women don't. Why do we do? Why we only get married once? What's up with that? Like they will get remarried. Like there was another person that Greg dated, and she was married 3 times. She just kept going back. Like she just had they just have this understanding of like I have to get married. I have to get married. So they will remarry again and again and again. So they have the heart to get remarried over and over and over, and just having that flexibility to get married over and over and over. So I like that's one observation that I have with the white women that I see. So
Live, and he lived for 5 years after that diagnosis. Tell me about the bedroom. When's the last time somebody besides the dogs were in here? Oh, you mean who slept here? Oh, nobody would because Will and I slept there, and I would never do.
also Pam, let me circle Pam. Pam down here. Pam is also as small as Suzanne. They're about like size 4, size 2 maybe. So I like that they stayed in shape, even though like wait, they're the oldest. Both of them are the oldest on this show, and they're more in shape.
That ain't gonna come in here anyway. Pam's house is really a shrine to the past. She lives in this magical place, but also it feels kind of haunted. And Pam told a lot of ghost stories.
Girl, the lady been living in that house since 1996. No, sorry, 1986. That's a long time. Like that's where she raised her kids. Of course, she's gonna have a shrine of her past. The past is in the house. She's been in the same house since 1986. That's a very long time. Okay, that's a very long time. It's almost 40 years. That's the right math, right? Yeah, it's almost 40 years. It's 39 years this year. That's a long time.
So, why did you want to participate in this? Why are you ready for this now? Zoe's getting married, and she worries about me. And I did this because I want Zoe to have a social life herself and go to England or go to Thailand. So part of doing this is doing it for someone else, which seems like a big theme. What is doing it for you? Because, it's very lonely. I mean, the dogs are starting to talk back. Sorry.
Now, Pam is someone that's very guarded. Um, you know, the coach, I'm sorry, the dating scientist, I say scientist because that's what she is. Um, she was saying like, yes, the house is a shrine of the past, but she asked Pam, are you doing this for others or are you doing this for you? A lot of times, like people want to date because it will make someone else happy. And then next thing you know, like they're not really happy with their choices. And then they start rejecting the person they chose, or they also start resenting that they chose this person and resent the person they chose the person for. So if she said like her um granddaughter's getting married soon, so she want to be her granddaughter wants her to find someone, but it's not like she wants to find someone. It is to appease the granddaughter because the granddaughter doesn't want her to stay by herself at home because she adopted a granddaughter and that's who's been living with her for the past few years. So I get that, but we don't want to date people for your kids. Don't date for your kids, please, and don't stop dating because of your kids either. That's another problem because if you're not dating and annoying another adult, you now start to annoy your kids.
I don't. How do you do that? Turn it off. So that's technology. So when you think about the next chapter of your life, what do you imagine for yourself? I would like to just to actually, meet somebody that can put up with me and I can put up with them. I've been alone, I've been solitaire since Bubba died. Ham is this flower that needs to be in the sun and needs to be.
She said she's been single for 15 years, right? Now, I'm not gonna go on this the Lululand and thinking like they're not dating at all for 15 years. However, something is not working, and this is why they're on this show in particular, right? So I think having some type of uh, guide like the scientists to help some of these people out, even though like it's not a full-blown therapist, but it's a different option to show you like, okay, maybe you've been doing this too long and wrong at the same time. So 15 years minus 62, so she's been single since 47. 47 is young. She could have remarried. She could have remarried at 47. She could have remarried, but you know, let's keep going.
Around other people, and her life right now just isn't set up for that, and so she's really going to need to push herself to find that person to live the last chapter of her life with. So taking everything in that I learned from you, some of the stuff I want you to work on, I think one thing is really being in the present and thinking about the future, and maybe that is not talking about the past as much and not telling ghost stories on the date. I think the second one is having an open mind. These people are going to look. Now, nobody's ever said having an open mind. They've usually said, "Would you close it?" Okay, you do have an open mind. Please close that mind a little bit. Look, this guy's not going to look the same as a hot guy. Oh no, because I dream everybody young, and then I'll look in the mirror and go, "Who the hell is that?" I think that is going to be part of this experience. Yeah. I haven't talked to a man with teeth in so long. Since I quit flying. I do want you to have that moment where it's like.
This is such a true thing because I've had older men approach me a lot. She said she hasn't have a man with teeth. That is so sad. I just want to know why do the men lose their teeth more than the women? I spent a good 10 plus years doing health insurance for seniors. And let me tell you, I do speak with a lot of them that need dental work done. And it's not usually the women, it's the men. The men are usually the ones that ask for to get dentures done, to get like teeth pulled out, like extractions, things like that. And then I'm thinking about like, yeah, a lot of my conversation with a lot of seniors who needs a lot of these extra services from their health insurance plan, they usually are the ones that need a lot of that work done. So I definitely understand what she means by that.
Is my heart fluttering? Do I feel instant chemistry? You might not. These guys are. I have irregular heart. If it flutters, I have to put me in the hospital. I'm sorry. Must be the mimosas. She gonna wear her G. She gonna wear. She corny. So I'm going on my.
All right. So, um, to continue, Pam actually went on a couple dates, and Pam was talking a whole lot. Um, Let me show this comment. Pam was talking way too much. Pam was talking way too much. Pam was talking way too much. And in the spirit of Pam talking way too much, she ended up, putting her foot in her mouth a few times, and to the point where the guy was like, "You didn't even ask me any questions." And she was like, "I didn't." Well, I'll be damned. You get so wrapped up in trying to fill the void, and then you realize, wait, I'm talking too much. And that's exactly what Pam did. Pam was talking way too much and didn't realize she was overshadowing the conversation. And I I like watching stuff like this so we can see how other people date. So I don't do the same thing on my dates. But truthfully, it's you have to give that back and forth conversation. Like, I ask you a question, you answer, and then you ask me a question, and I answer, and then I bring up a joke, and then you laugh, and then you say something stupid, and then I laugh, and I look at you crazy. Things like that. Like, you just keep the flow going instead of just like, well, it's a little awkward. Let me say something stupid, and like you know what I'm talking about. But yeah. All right. So Pam had a third date. Um no, a second date. She only did 2 dates. The second date they sent her on was with a black man. Now this black man, um, he about 70 years old, but that's neither here nor there. The black man was trying to say all this weird statement talking about like he sees the soul in people. He goes where the wind goes, basically. And I'm over here like, be what kind of weird way of saying I like white women? Just say you don't date any color. Like, just say you open. He had like a weird statement to just to basically say like he don't date black women. And I was completely turned off by that. I was like, just be normal. Like, it it's always weird, right? When we see in these dating shows, especially on Netflix, and I think it may have been like two depictions of Too Hot to Handle and another social media. Are we the match? Are you the match? The match something, right? That dating show on Netflix, we saw how much of a pick me these black men turn for white women on these shows. It's the weirdest thing to watch it happen in real life on camera on national television and see how like they just start acting all weird. They start acting more feminine, and it's so disturbing. And then when it came to black women, they want them to be strong, independent, but yet they'll accept anything from a white woman. We gotta unpack that, but not from me because I'm not a black man. Another black man has to make you unpack that. Why do you act weird around white women? But so that guy, he ended up being someone who still in his 60s having a business. He said he's just starting a business. I'm not doing age shaming or some type of ageism. I just feel like in your 60s slash 70s, you should be in your retirement phase and just enjoy your money. Why are you still trying to be a hustler in your 60s, in your 70s? I'm going to find the episode where he had a date, but I don't know. It just feels weird. Was it? I think it was episode, I think it was episode 4. Let me double check. But yeah, I just feel like it was just a weird energy that I got from him trying to have a conversation with that. So all in all, Pam over here, Pam is not necessarily like fully open to being in a relationship, but she was open to date. And we saw how like from the first date she was rambling on because she wanted to feel the dead air and things like that, to the point where the guy was like, you didn't ask me any questions, right? No, yeah. He was like, you didn't ask me any question, right? She was like, yeah, but I was talking. He's like, no, no, no. There's talking and there's asking me question. And the guy was like, you don't know me at all. And he was right. Because she asked no real question the whole entire time, but she was talking for a good 2 hours. You know how annoying it is for you to just listen to someone just ramble on for 2 hours straight? I mean, like, they were great stories. She had a lot to say. She had a mouthful. And the one thing, too, Pam wasn't just a regular flight attendant, unlike American Airline or freaking, what do you call it? Spirit. Pam was a flight attendant on private jets. Okay? Homegirl's making good money. Good money. And I like to say some of these private airlines were probably also military base as well. So she's not a spring chicken, and I feel like Pam was being coy. Now here's another thing that made me pause about Pam and that black guy that they want to date with. His business was a tourism type of business. If someone come to Metro Atlanta, he takes them on tours and show them like the good thing that the city has. It's a really decent business. I just feel like why are you just now trying this out? You're supposed to be living your life. But anyway, the white lady made a joke talking about like, oh, I want to join your business. I want to work for you. And he was like, oh yeah, you want to work for me? Sure, come work for me. Why? He took her seriously. Why are you so quick to open to have a white woman you just met today on this date, maybe like 20 minutes in the date, and you were accepting for her to come join your business? This weird way of accepting white women really fast that black men do on these shows for me really bug me out sometimes. It really does. It really does. It really does. Um, I would not do that. Just be like, oh yeah, join my business for someone I'm just going on a date with. I don't know you. It could be placating, but he looked mad interested. You know why I say he was mad interested? Because at the end of the season, on episode 8, Pam brought it up again. Pam brought it up saying like, oh, me and him are just gonna be good friends, and I might join his business. So they had a conversation later on about him really working with her. Help me understand that. Help me understand, like why are you so gung ho about working with this woman that you just don't know? That's just weird to me. That's just weird to me. That is just weird to me. Anyway, Trey said, I like Pam. She was older, didn't know how to conversate. She talked a little too much, that's all. Yeah, she talks a lot. She has a lot of stories, which is understandable for someone who's in their 60s. I That's one thing I used to love about working with seniors is that they have stories, and I would just sit there and listen. The call would just go longer and longer and longer. I didn't care because that means the less person I talk to. See, if you gonna let them talk, they're gonna buy something. Usually, they buy something. So I let them talk. If I know you're gonna get a plan for me, I'm gonna let you talk. Tell me all the stories. I'd be like, oh my god, yeah, what? That's crazy. I don't like to do that to you. That's not fair. Yeah. And they used to love my accent. The ones that were not racist, so they love my accent. So I would make sure I stay on the phone and listen to all their stories. Anyone who's like 72 had the best stories. I don't know why, like that mid 70 age, they have no one to talk to like that. So you call them, they want to talk. I let them talk. Next thing you know, like they send me referrals because I listen. I listen. I paid attention. I I made sure I controlled the call though, but still, like I just knew to just let them yap because that's what they want to do. And frankly, I think with her having a granddaughter living with her, it's a little different than having another grown adult to be around. So she just let the freak loose and she was just talking. But with Logan being their dating scientist, she had to tell like, okay, I'm gonna need you to reel it in because it's not all about you. It's both of you guys on a date, so it's a back and forth situation. So she got better on the second date. What I love is that after each date, they FaceTime Logan, the scientist, the one that runs the show, and to give feedback. And she was like, "I didn't talk too much this time." And I'm like, "Yes, girl, thank God you learning." It's the weirdest thing, like to hear like the small things that people be like, I listened to you and I didn't do the small things that you would think it would be normal to listen to or to just not do in general. But it was cute. Okay. Let's move on to Greg. I told you guys I'm doing the white people before, the blacks. We're doing the whites right now. And I'm gonna start with the blacks because they were annoying. These three right here, they were annoying. Okay, I'm going down the whites first, and then we're gonna go to the blacks because Lord have mercy. All right, so Greg over here, Greg didn't need to be on the show. Greg had nothing to offer. Greg was the quintessential white man who is looking for something more what's the word I'm looking for? He was looking for something really superficial. That man, when Logan asked him like what's your type, that man says Jennifer Aniston. I'm like, bro, goddamn well, you're not getting you don't know damn Jennifer Aniston. Especially you still got kids living with you. Greg is 61. This man is 61 years old. He's a construction business owner. He was divorced twice. He got two sons. One has cerebral palsy. He said he wants someone who puts emphasis on family and has strong faith. You know what that means? He's looking for help. Anytime I hear a man say he's looking for someone who loves family and has strong faith, I mean he wants a Christian help. A Christian woman who's gonna help with this kid that I got. These two kids I got, I need help because it seemed like he has custody. So he's looking for a Christian woman to come and help with this family that he still got going on in his house. Okay. He went on 2 dates, Kelly and Sherry. Kelly was what he likes to, because Kelly was vibe boom. Kelly had the body, yada yada yada. Kelly had the big old bitties and a little shape on her. Kelly looked like she was about a good size 8, size 10, really Miss Thickums. She was very fun. They went, I think, water rafting, something like that. And the date looked like it was really fun, honestly, in my opinion. But I think with the fact that she lived about an hour and a half away, he was like, no, I ain't doing it. I don't mind you. I don't mind you having standards, but what's an hour and a half to go see your boy, your lady? What's an hour and a half? If you like, there are men who have traveled further for their women. So an hour and a half of driving, he said no. He said no. This man was not with it. That man said, "I know I'm straight. I'm not driving an hour and a half." He's like, "No, I'm not doing that." And then the next woman that he went on a date with, her name was Shelly. No, Sherry. Sherry. Um, Sherry for me was amazing. I feel like Sherry could not have kids, so she adopted children and raised three. Hold on. None of I'm saying that out loud. Sherry was giving um I adapt kids from different races like Angelina Jolie. She was very much giving Angelina Jolie, but I got the vibe that maybe she couldn't have children, so she adopted, which was very good. But for some reason, Sherry came on a date with a super black cloak on, giving very much Harry Potter, like really super covered up, and which was completely different from the previous woman who came all décolleté and all her tete was out. So I think he lost interest because she wasn't showing no skin. However, like she was very accomplished. She was married 3 times, 3 times. So she keep giving men chances for some reason. Um, and she was just like she was very accomplished. She's a VP in automotive industry, something like that. I don't know what the actual company name was, but she was just I think she was fabulous. I think if he would stop being so, what's the word I'm looking for? Not selfish, but like superficial. I think they would have found a common ground. So Greg for me was someone who didn't need to be on the show. I think like he really just looking for help. With someone who's a VP at a company, she doesn't really have time for a lot of BS or to be someone that's gonna help who's family. I mean, granted, she's family oriented because she adopted 3 kids that's not even hers and really raised them kids all these years, but she's not really like a hands-on mom. And he has a son that's cerebral palsy and he needs the help. So he immediately like crossed her off. So this is why I feel like Greg didn't need to be in the show. Greg wasted everybody's time. Okay. All right. Let's start with the least problematic of the blacks. Let's go with Anise. Okay. Anise, right here. Anise is a fine black woman. Fine black woman. Anise was given like she took care of herself. Anise was giving like, baby, I'm the finest in walking. Okay. Anise was giving I'm the finest in walking. And she walked through there like she was ready to run things. Anise was fine as hell. And anise is French for a type of cinnamon. Um, and Anise is 62. Anise looked like she about a size 4, which is really good for black women. She married her high school sweetheart, and they had two kids. And then he ended up dying like right off. I think like within 3 months of having their second kid, and then she became a single mom. Um, Honestly, she became a widow, but for some reason, like she just had to get on the ball, and so her first husband died, and then she got married again and and divorced twice. So she'd been married 3 times. Okay. The only thing is, like, for her, she wanted to find a partner that wasn't intimidated by her professional success. I think she waited a while before she got remarried again after her first husband died, because they were college sweethearts, right? I think they were like in the first year of college, something like that. And he ended up dying based, I think it was a shooting of some sort, and he ended up dying, kind of like an innocent bystander type of thing. And she had to like get on the ball and really hustle to take care of two kids. And that came with a lot of like sorrows and regret, and just feeling like she had no help to go on. So she had to force herself, because with them being, I really think he died in the sophomore year in college. So with dying in the sophomore year in college, she she just felt like he she just felt like he was um the love of her life, and he ended up going away. So with her, trying to be a single mom, I think it was hard for her, but she wanted to keep that same energy. Well, she said she wanted to keep their goals alive, because they had goals of growing together and having a family, and what she wanted to go to school for and what she wanted to go to school for, so things of that nature. So for her, this was extremely, heavy and emotional for her. So, and she went on to get multiple degrees, and then she had a doctorate, and then she always felt like, with her having a doctorate, it became a point of contention for some men, because they be acting like, you know, um, some men, feel intimidated with a black woman having degrees and stuff like that, which is weird, because the white women's Suzanne didn't have that kind of problem. How come she had the problem? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's another situation to talk about another time, but not tonight on this show. So let's go over. Okay, let's go over her story again with um a niece, the fine black woman.
Like stalking.
Hold on. Even her daughter's fine as hell too. Praise the Lord for the good black genes. Okay, praise the Lord for the good black genes. The black genes was killing it. Okay, Anise came on there looking fine as hell for 62. Y'all see this body yaddy yaddy yaddy? I'm gonna show y'all in a little bit. Hold on.
I'm a niece. I'm 62.
Y'all see this fine black woman? I'm sorry for my light being so bright, Lord. Y'all see this fine black woman? Praise the Lord. Anise pull up on us like, hello. Look at her.
I'm a niece. I'm 62. I've been married 3 times and I'm single again. I'm doing this because I've been single for almost 20 years and I really like to find love. I want to see if there are any blind spots that I can learn from to find a partner. It hasn't been easy to find that person or him to find me, but I think I'm getting close. I live an active life. So I would like for that person to still.
Yeah, she be working out. She be working out. Look at her. She's so fine, y'all. Let me find you another picture to show you how fine this black woman is. Okay, she was giving like rich black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like she was just fine as hell. I'm sorry. I know I keep saying she was fine as hell, but she was. I love seeing beautiful black women on my screen because what? Black woman is what? Is God. Period. Look at her. Isn't she fine, y'all? Look at her. Praise the Lord. Because the Lord be working. Okay? Fine black woman. Ain't she fine, y'all? She's so fine. Praise the Lord. Um, she be killing it for me. Okay? She be killing it for me. And I love to see beautiful black women. Her and her daughter were just beautiful. They look amazing on the show. But gorgeous black woman. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. Okay, let's talk about she was married 3 times, which I love that she was married 3 times. All right, so her first
Like to be active. We should like make drinks or something. See, I can't do the manly things. Well, how is that? And then you hand it to me. You should see me here when I'm trying to open something. Ooh. I mean, what is one thing when you're meeting a man that turns you on?
I just want to show y'all her daughter. Let me see if I can show y'all. Oh man, this her daughter right here. Her daughter fine as hell too. The jeans were jeaning, you know what I'm saying? Great jeans. Beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns. Like the daughter, fine as hell. Fine as hell. Just mm-hmm.
Ooh. When he is tall and he looks at me, he really sees me. He has my attention. I didn't know where this was going. This could have went a lot of different ways. Oh, you thought I was gonna go like in the bedroom? Thanks to Jesus. Okay. You don't look your age and you don't act your age. So I don't look at you as a 60 plus. Like, I don't look at you in that bracket. But I'm realizing that you are dating men who look like they are in the bracket. I feel like you guys want me with someone because
Yes, your kids want you to be with somebody. I mean, granted, she got married 3 times. She tried, y'all. She tried multiple times. I don't know, y'all. I don't know how long. For how much I pay for StreamYard, I should not be having any lags. But anyway, so I don't see myself getting married more than 3 times. We just gonna be life partners after that. We're just gonna be life partners. Do you know how annoying dating men is? You know how taxing it is to keep going on dates and realize they don't have what you're looking for, or like you have to dim your light. Married 3 times is good enough. I know she said she's been single for 20 years. I mean, that she been single since 42. She said after 42, she's not getting remarried. I know that's right. Honestly, like 3 marriages before 42. You sure you're not the problem? Are you sure you're not the problem? I had to think about that. How long were these marriages? Like 3 years each? I'm curious now. Hold on.
when I get to the age where I need to be living somewhere, I got 3 children. 4 months with you, 4 months with him, 4 months with him. 4 months is a long time. process, will they make it past like the second or third date, or are you still running the same playbook? I think that would be nice to get to a third date with the same person. Usually I can't get to a second or third date because maybe I'm judging too quickly. So I do need help. Have your support. Yes, Mom. You have my support. Don't say like you have to. Feel it. I'm here. You have my support. Okay, thank you. I need your support. Get ready. Your mom's going on dates.
So let's take a look with a niece and her daughter. Okay. So y'all can see what I'm talking about. Dwayna, fine as hell. All right, let's pull up a picture. Let's pull up a picture. I think like y'all not hearing me correctly. I think y'all think like I'm lying about how fine these people are. Let, let me pull up her and her daughter real quick because it was fine as hell. Praise the Lord. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, that's not. Let's pull this up.
And he's already seated. I see his eyes kind of light up, and I'm feeling the shivers me tenders. He is 6'3". He's magical. Okay, looks. And at one point, he just kind of wanted to look at me and read me. He was trying to read me. He said, "Look into my eyes." I said, "Sir, I have no problem looking into your eyes because your eyes speak to me too." And we're looking into each other's eyes. I was like, can you tell I like this date? I do. So far, so good. I keep waiting for a shoe to drop, but maybe there's not a shoe. What's his name? Willie. I said, "Do they call you Big Willie?" Oh God, Mama. Oh God. He liked it. You know what? You realize that it is an analogy for his penis, right? Oh, like, no. Willie I didn't know that. He's just a big person. Is that something in your generation?
Now, ma'am. She is really acting like she don't know what big Willie mean. Anyway, y'all see how fine these people are?
I felt that coming, and yet and still I wasn't prepared for it. I haven't seen his penis. I understand that. Okay. But if you look at the, let's say, Urban Dictionary, I don't know if everyone believes that putting big in front of a man's name means his penis is big. It's not about his name. It's about that term, Big Willie. Oh, Willie. Oh, like a Fix Johnson. It, Jesus.
Please.
And then the light came on. Oh, now I get it. Everybody around here have been waiting for you to catch on.
But yeah, y'all. So this is a niece and her daughter. So her first date, Lord, was with a clown. I'm gonna see if I can find the video with that clown. That clown was really trying to ask her, like, "Oh, hey, you did you get any work done? You." That man said, "I like a woman that's a little ghetto." What does that mean? Like, what do you mean by that? Like, I'm gonna show y'all another video of how fine this woman is. Okay, hold on, hold on. Share screen.
She's the king of queens. She's the queen of queens. A queen and more. Malaysia. This is not your regular woman. She's the king of queens. She's the queen of queens. A queen.
Anyway, so that is Anise. Let me find the clip of where the man was talking weird on the date. Well, her first date with this man, Lord, was very disappointing. So let's actually before that, let's hear her conversation with Logan.
Yes. Yeah, beneath, I like that. Great. So let's start at the beginning. Okay. I married my high school sweetheart. We were together about 11 years. And unfortunately, he was in an on-the-job accident. He was someone who saw the potential in me. He was a generator of my dreams. When I said I wanted to go to college, we had a plan that when our youngest turned 5, I would start night school. But when he died, our youngest was only 2. Wow. And so, but he had planted all this potential in me and that I could do, and I thought I had to find a way. So then you went to college after he passed? He passed, yeah. So you were fulfilling a dream that the two of you had created together. And the way I'd raised the children was things we talked about. I just felt like when I see him again, I want to be able to look him straight in the face and say, baby, I did it. I did it. That's beautiful. Yeah. And it's the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. That first year, if I hadn't had children, I would have curled up in a corner and just did nothing. But because I had them, I felt like I've got to do it for my baby, for my heartbeats. Yeah. And so, why are we here? What do you need help with? I need help because I've been told, I don't know if it's true, that I self-sabotage my relationships. It seemed like I could date someone, and then these things start showing up. It's like, no, I don't want to live my life that way. I think when I find sometimes a man that we feel compatible, he looks good, I'm attracted to him. He looks so good, he wants to go in the candy store and play with all the candy. Yeah. And let me give you one other reasons why they don't make it sometimes. When they find out all the things that I've accomplished, and when they find out I have a doctorate, some of them have this insecurity. All through my life, I've minimized myself and not showing my true self because I don't want other people to think she's too big. Yeah.
I think that's pretty sad, though. I think a lot of older Black women have said this before, but they felt like they have to dim themselves down because ever since COVID happened, there's a thing called the red pillars. The red pill men just love getting online and say like, the older you got, the older you get, the less valuable you get, or they go with the term of, oh, when you excuse me, your education doesn't matter. Your education doesn't matter. It don't mean anything to us, and it's the weirdest thing. Like, I just feel like, so in some cases, some men will feel intimidated by a woman's career, but I just feel like that's not on the woman, that's on the man, who didn't, make a career for himself, and now he feels some type of way about the woman having a career or having a life or having more education. That's something you have to deal with internally, because that's insecurity that you have. And I would want more women to feel better about their accomplishments instead of reducing them or minimizing who they are for a man who didn't have the same thing that they did.
I want you to share with people your accomplishments. It'd be better to know from the beginning if they can handle your success or not. My first impression of Anise is that she's really attractive, really full of life, and really successful. She's still trying to figure out what's her place in the world. And I want her to get more real, but I also understand why that doesn't feel safe for her. Here, Jade, I know you'll shine because you will shine regardless, but I want you to shine in your truest, biggest way.
Yeah. I don't want to have an emotional moment on my date.
Maybe that's the missing piece.
Oh, my daughter would say that. I don't think I'm perfect. And I think there absolutely has to be something that I'm doing to perhaps hinder the process. Now I'm excited about tonight.
Yeah.
I want to say this too. She said this in the first conversation with Logan, which came up later when she was saying about, the guy looks so good that he wants to play with all the candies in the candy store. So she attracts who she is. She is beautiful. She does have the pick of the litter, like she would. So she keeps attracting men who doesn't choose only her. And for her, when she goes with men, sometimes they don't make it past the second or third day because she's extremely picky. So with her being picky, she attracts men who are also doesn't choose her in reverse. It's the weirdest thing. So let's play her first date, Lord. Let's play her first date. Are you all ready? All right.
A waterfall batshit crazy in love with someone.
I know this gonna be crazy because this man said he wanna fall batshit crazy in love with someone. Baby, you 62.
Who feels the same way about me.
All right. So George is 60, divorced twice, 7 years single, one kid, retired nuclear security. Is this the same nuclear security that Tyler from Love Is Blind had? Is it the same career? Okay. Now I ain't gonna hold you. That outfit was little hoochie mama, man. That outfit was little hoochie mama for the date with George. He walked in and he rolled his eyes. She walked in there and he rolled his eyes.
Hi. You're
Anise.
It's nice to meet you, George.
Sorry.
Hi.
That dress looks short. Wow.
Oh, how sweet.
Sweet. So you run a lot of traffic in here?
It was a lot. It was Atlanta.
Yeah. I live in Chattanooga, so I can avoid most of the Atlanta traffic. Get here about the same time as you do.
Chattanooga
You're
is
in
far.
Chattanooga.
I don't say it like that.
He's good looking, the gray hair with this dark skin. That's a great combination. He's a little shorter than I expected, but that was okay. And he just seems to be an overall nice guy.
What's your area of expertise, or what do you? I don't want to ask you what you do. Like,
Oh, I'm in marketing. I actually started at a community college. Then I went on to Belmont University and went to Vanderbilt.
And then I went on and got my doctorate as well. So I like to learn. Okay. Yeah. So, I'm a adventure person. Mm-hmm. I hike, climb mountains. Have you climbed Stone Mountain? Of course. Well, that can be our second date. You're talking second date already. Just go ahead.
I'm currently playing Anissa's date with George, so you can see how like terrible this date was.
She's my kind of beautiful. That's all I can say. My type of eye can.
Hold on. How far is Chattanooga to Atlanta? It's a little far to drive for a date, ain't it? 2 hours? Oh, hell no. I'm sorry. That is way too far for a date. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what? Maybe Greg was onto something about driving an hour and a half to go see that lady. I don't even drive 15 minutes, no, 30 minutes to a date. You got me missed. And 2 hours, an hour and 51 minutes with traffic, that's definitely 2 hours and a half. With Atlanta traffic, that is 2 hours and a half. I know he's taking 75 down from Marietta down to Atlanta. Who knows where the date is? So from 75, getting the I-20 and then getting too much for a date for me.
No, this is a newfangled menu. You gotta. Oh, and I gotta get my glasses out. Can you just give me a paper menu, dude? So you spend a lot of time in Atlanta, or? I have a son who lives here. Really? Yeah. Just one child, or? You asked me that. It's so awful. I've dated more than one person who's got 3 kids and they're different age. No, so they have a perfect logical excuse of what happened that way. Oh, is that an excuse or a reason? Not a reason, Have we made some decisions? I have, but I just looked for a pig on the menu, and that's me. Are you bread eaters? We have these wonderful little honey butter rolls. Oh my God. No. Okay. I'm looking out for you. He kept saying some things. I was like, how old?
That man said, "How many kids you got? How many baby daddies?" Because he said he was with someone who had 3 kids and each had a daddy. So he wants to know.
Are you? I'm 60. You're 60. Oh, you ever dated an older woman?
She's saying that like she's 70 years old. Girl, you 2 years older than him. It's not that serious.
No, I'm not. Oh, she whispered. Yeah. Okay, like don't crack it. Yeah.
You right, because she ain't cracking.
Yeah, it didn't work. I'm trying to be open-minded, so you date a lot. I live in Chattanooga. I fuck around in Atlanta.
That is the most disgusting thing I ever heard somebody say. Wide open. He's 60 years old saying like he fuck around in Atlanta. That man said, I'm willing to drive 2 hours for some panani. Basically what he's saying. He got hoes in different area codes. That's what this man's saying. I fuck around in Atlanta. I live in Chattanooga and I fuck around Atlanta. That's what his old ass saying.
I'm trying to be open-minded. So you like your shit. No, I'm not. Oh, he whispered. Yeah. Okay, like don't crack it. Yeah. Have you had any work done? I'm trying to be open-minded. So you date a lot. I live in Chattanooga. I fuck around in Atlanta. Okay, I date around in Atlanta. But he's quite raw. I like my women love a gentleman. You do? You're not gonna.
That man said, I like my woman with a little ghetto in them. You just heard a woman say, like, I went through community college and I went to Belmont University and then I went to Vanderbilt and then got her doctorate, but you think she got a little ghetto in her. Where is the ghetto at? He probably was looking for someone to smash it. Like the man said in his intake video that he looking for someone to fall back shit in love with, but he like hoes in different area codes. Like what is going on?
Ghetto. You know you got it in your heart.
I mean, she said it's in my heart to be ghetto. What part of her said? I take that back. I feel like the moment she walked in with that short ass dress on, he already placed her in the whole category. Ever since that date, her next two dates, she dressed up correctly. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Yeah, she did. She did because she had 4 dates. So in her next 2 days, she dressed up correctly. She said, You're not gonna treat me like a ghetto bitch no more."
No, get your blonde wig.
Blonde wigs means ghetto. Maybe that's why I don't really wear blonde wigs because they do be giving ghetto sometimes. But I feel like, like with the brown highlights, top of like, mixture 4B30 type, those would be really pretty. Those would be really nice.
Excuse me.
So she had gotten like if you have Netflix, go watch this season. But she had gotten up from the table because she needed a break. I would have gotten up and walked out immediately and left his ass there. You're not about to objectify me, and then that's okay. Soon as she got up, he was staring in her ass. And I feel like that's why he asked, "Do you have any work done?" Because she had a fat booty.
Stay to be over. This season on the leader.
So she felt some type of way.
Second blind date.
She felt some type of way, and I don't blame her at all. I don't.
Okay. Like watching you walk out. You did really? You kind of like, look, get over. Oh.
He said you are like a little ghetto. You know what I hate about that statement? It's like if I have a shape, then I look ghetto. If I'm wearing a short dress, then I look ghetto.
I'm the first person to ever say that. I'm just my yeah. Okay. George, it's good meeting you, but I'm just learning my Uber's outside. I'm still young. I was over it. I was over it. All right. Well, let me walk you. Bye. Whew, what's the song by TLC? Scrub. I don't have no time for what he was giving me. I don't have time for it.
She called that man a scrub. Cause honestly, what is nuclear security? You know, if I ever see that job anywhere else, I'm gonna think of Tyler, how he lied about having a job and he ain't got no job. and he was just a security guard versus an anyway. The date was terrible. The first date was terrible. Didn't like that. And then they went and have her go on a date with Nate. Nate the freak. Well, in both ways, actually. Nate was a neat freak and a freak. He was a big whore. And I'm going to tell you why he was a big whore in a little bit. But they went on a date and they were not compatible because Nate has an injury that allows him not to do too much outdoor activities. And she's very big on outdoor activities because she said that on her first date. She likes to go hiking. She likes to go outside, okay? She likes to go outside and work out because her thing right now is working out, and she likes staying fit. So Nate can't do too much of the exercising, all that walking because of his injury. So they had like a mismatch of sorts, and I'm glad they had a mismatch. I felt like, you know, we'll get to Nate in a few minutes, but they were just not a match. And then Logan felt like, making her go on a date with a white man. He was more of an English man, and she was like, "Well, this is my first time trying to date a white man fully." Like she went a couple dates with a couple white men, but never got like to a romantic relationship. So she never fully dated in a relationship with a white man. And the white man was like, "Well, that's all I date." So already another mismatch. So she had a lot of guard up. But here's my thing. It's been 20 years. I feel like she'd be home. I am so sorry for saying that, ma'am. But I feel like she was outside for a minute. 20 years is a very long time to be single and not fully in a relationship. I get you had to raise your kids, but you were like 42. Because you 62. From 40 to 60 is a very long time. You didn't get any in any relationship, or you were just dating. You were just going on dates. What were you doing on? What you had going on for 20 years? It was a very long time. I would have got remarried for a fourth time. Got remarried for a fourth time. I would have. I definitely would have been married for a fourth time. If it was up to me, I would remarried for the fourth time. 20 years is a long time. That's another relationship right there. That's another 10, 15 years with one other person. It's a very long time to be with someone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very long time. So they didn't work out, and with Anise, she ended up meeting this fine ass man. Hold on, let me show you all this fine ass man. It's 11 o'clock. Hold on, it's time for my bed. All right, so she ended up meeting Willie. Willie works in government as a canine specialist. I don't know what that means, but okay. Um, so her daughter picked this man because her daughter knows her type, which is tall, good looking, and this is Big Willie. She wanted a date with Willie. She showed up to that date with Willie. Willie was looking fine as hell. He came in there with a really nice hat on. The skin was glistening, wearing all black. Soon as she touched that man, she said, "Ooh, okay." Like her coochie was talking before she spoke. Okay, she saw that man. She started walking all sway, like she was doing a snake. That's how much she felt like, "Ooh, that man fine as hell." something about our pheromones as women just start acting differently when a man is fine. Start acting all weird and cutesy and all extra stuff. Like they just be doing extra. So she gave me a hug and the coochie said hello. So he's 55, Willie is 55, and she's 62. And she was like, how do you feel about dating an older woman? Girl, you are not that old, okay? You're not even giving these people 10 years. At the most, you giving them 7 with Willie. And with Willie is 6'3". Willie was tall and fine, Lord. But Willie lived far away. I thought they were gonna have a good relationship because they were attracted to each other. And he took her on a hike for the second date, which is something like she had in common, and he wanted to like take her something that she would enjoy. And immediately on that date, they was kissing. You see how she's looking into his eyes? She was into that man. Mm-hmm. Let me see. The cat was on fire and lost all sense. She sure did lose all senses, Lord. She sure did lose all senses. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, yeah, Lord. She was smitten, to say the word, and they got so close. She kissing that man all on camera. And behold, 2 months later, they were seeing people, but they're not seeing. After filming was done, 6 months later, they stopped talking. She said in an interview with People magazine that we realize we don't have enough in common to build anything on, but we're still friendly. He lives really far from me. When it came down to the direction he was trying to go and what I was trying to do, it just didn't match up. You sure, ma'am? Are you sure? You sure about that? You sure about that? Because lo and behold, that man told you. Let's play this date between her and Big Willie, okay? Let's play this date between her and Big Willie because Big Willie was straightforward. Big Willie told her what what was going on, okay? Big Willie told her what was going on. Big Willie was honest about what he likes, what he don't like. Let's find that date. Hold on. I think it was episode. Oh, there we are. Right here. Boom. Right there.
You from Atlanta? No, I'm from Chicago. Okay. But I've been in the South for a long time now. This area, yeah. We've been treating you with hospitality. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're all beautiful. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I mean, I think you're very handsome. Well, thank you. So, what's your favorite place to travel to? The absolute best vacation that I've ever been a part of is to Africa. Went to Johannesburg, and I got off that plane, and they was like, "Welcome home, brother." I melted. I didn't want to come back, but then I know I had to come back. So I've been to Joburg. I don't know. I just love exploring international places. I loved Singapore. This summer, I went to Bali for 2 weeks. I absolutely adored it. You're adventurous. You like to get out. I'm adventurous. Yeah. Look, how can you read me? Let me take a look. I like looking into eyes because eyes speak to me, but he was trying to read me, which felt like, oh, okay, he's really trying to get to know me in this moment. So that felt nice. This is really good so far, I think.
You're smart. I see it.
Okay, you like smart?
Yes.
I do have my doctorate.
Well, you're just racking up the points. Like racking up. That's all right.
Yeah, this is nice. It's good energy, and you're deep. I can tell.
Yeah, I'm gonna take.
You have a
I'm
beautiful
drink some
smile,
water too.
by the way. You keep giving me this smile.
How is this man deep? What did he say that was so deep, man? You know what's crazy? Nate was more deep than him because Nate had to share his struggle when he had his injury. Nothing Willie said was deep in this conversation. All he said was he went to Johannesburg and got off the plane and somebody said, "Welcome home, brother." You know, I feel the same way when I go to Haiti. And Haiti's more black than Johannesburg. Johannesburg has a lot of mixed people there, transplants, a lot of white folks, and a lot of like indigenous people there. It's not fully blackity black. If you want to go to blackity black, go to the islands. Okay, go to Jamaica, go to St. Lucia, go to Dominica, not Dominican Republic, Dominica. Go to Haiti, blackity black. Majority of us are dark skinned, okay? You want to have a welcome home situation? You want to be amongst your people? That's not all the way on the other side of the world. You want to feel like welcome home? Go to Haiti. Soon as you get off the plane, okay, you see a full line of dark skinned people. Even the customs agents, blackly black, dark skin, beautiful. You get out the airport to get taxi. There's a full slew of black, dark skinned men waiting for you to be your taxi. That's how blackity black you finna feel. You gonna walk into Wakanda. Haiti is a Wakanda. Okay? You walk out, you see Wakanda. Ain't nothing Wakanda about Johannesburg. Like, what are you screaming? Like, bro, he said nothing deep.
I'm like,
Hey, it's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. See, so much to talk about. So we have to schedule another 2 hour session. Let's expand it like, well, on the safe side, say 3 hours.
so that sounds like you're asking me out on a date.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You're gonna give me your number.
I am. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. I think this is how you add the contact. So,
Previously, in her conversations with Logan, she was talking about how she had to take a lead in a lot of things. And this is my issue with a lot of women is that like they give too much leeway to men who gives just an inch of masculinity and think, oh my god, he did it. Oh my god, yes, daddy. No. The man giving bare minimum form of assertiveness. The man looked at her like he was interested and give her some reassurance that he's interested and that he finds her attractive as well. And he started giving directives at her as far as like, yeah, so we're gonna do another session of this and maybe in a 2 hours or 3 hours. You gonna give me your phone number. Like he was very direct, which I don't mind directives. However, I didn't hear anything deep. He didn't share anything deep of that nature. I think it was just more like y'all were just gazing each other's eyes and y'all had nothing deep in common. That's why it didn't work out because you keep choosing men who had nothing deep but the looks. I think she keeps going after the looks, and that's sad to see.
I'm gonna put the first part in, and you can tell me if I spelled it right, and then you can put in all the rest. No,
No, you did. Denise, right, but I'm not Patrice. I'm Patricia.
it's Patricia. It's Patricia. I hated that to you like I was so sure, and I like did that.
But that's not in your head
But
now.
yeah, do you even save it? Did
I
you?
did.
Let me see if you say. Oh, I was about to say, that was you was about to leave me with one of those. Oh yeah, I put it in your phone, and then I go looking for it. It's not there.
I like that he's well groomed. He has the nice Willie, I appreciate you walking me.
Yes, most definitely. With the booze, look at you.
There goes that other short dress she had on, Lord. She's wearing the short dresses with the boots. Honestly, I feel like her daughter kind of told her that he's cute ahead of time.
She like, oof. That's when you know you got something right there.
You are funny.
Absolutely, I want a second date. I would actually plan a second date outdoors, adventurous, or an activity like bowling. Something simple. Oh yeah, I got in with you. That's like I should have let you go through. Her energy is drawing me to her. And it kept me smiling and laughing. It's supposed to feel like this. Well, hope you have fun.
It's been a pleasure. God. That's my
Okay, beautiful. Until the next time.
All right.
I'm not surprised it didn't work out after like dating for 6 months because there's not too much to build. Like this is this would have been a fourth marriage if you actually listen. This is supposed to be someone you spend most of your life with. So give and take, you have maybe 15 more years to live, right? Because she's 62, so 15 more years probably give her like around 77. 77 to 80 years old, that's where some people like just die off, right? So I don't know. I just feel like she chose BOA, based on attraction. All right, so let's talk about Nate, Miss Lori over here. Um, I'm at my 2 hour mark. I do this tomorrow. I'm getting tired. Um, let's finish this up. So we'll do part 2 tomorrow. And probably dig deeper a little bit. But honestly, this show was nice to watch. It's nice to see how the older generation date 50 and up. I don't think there's a lot of big difference from how we date and how they date. I think the only key things that I've seen is that a lot of them would rather they don't have young children because they want to be empty nesters. I get that because they want to just live life being partners and just being in each other's life and just enjoy being each other's company, just going on, just traveling. You should be at a career you feel like you have enough money, you are more stable, and I'm talking like stable, like you worked in your industry for a long time. In your 60s, you should have money. Period. Not trying to have another business, not trying to like keep working for sure. So if you in your 30s watching this video, definitely start getting your money up. If you even save $10,000 a year, if you can save $10,000 a year, in by the time you're in your 60s, 30 years from now, that's 300K saved, not accounting like the money you've been making all this time or you've been investing. So 300,000, and if you have an account that's giving you like an 8% interest rate, that's about $350,000. I think that's a decent amount. Um, Give and take, if you're investing slowly, this is more of a what do you call it? This is adding this into like a mutual fund type of situation with an 8% interest rate. This is me being conservative, honestly. You can, really see growth over time. And even if you do invest more aggressively, you probably make more than that. And even if you have life insurance from your partner's, dying or whatever, or if you have like an annuity fund that gives you dividends over time with your annuities, so like you can really enjoy your retirement by the time you're in your 70s. So this is something you have to think about. But anyway, we'll continue part two tomorrow.